Hello, you're watching GotSpaceGame and it's time for Microsoft Flight Simulator. We're going to be flying every single plane in the sim. All 120, 130? That's a lot. We're starting with all of the standard edition aircraft. Various planes, gliders, other kind of assorted oddities. We're working in alphabetical order by the manufacturer name, just because I've got a handy list. And the first then is Aero Vodochody with the L39 Albatros. It's a two-seat tandem military jet trainer. It's actually the only jet trainer I've never really flown in DCS. Tried the others. I'm quite in love with the MB339. That's my favourite. I haven't got around to the Albatros yet. But it looks like a fun plane. You can see this version is kind of civilianised. You've got some GPS navigation. Some basic radio navigation as well by the looks. You've got that looks like an ILS there, so and there's some all-weather capability. You do have a weird kind of glitch with the lights in this plane though. If you fly at night time, you'll see there's like a cabin light that's just illuminating the whole cabin at full brightness and no apparent way to turn it off. So that's a bit annoying. Let's get the speed down. You got like a digital control of the flaps there on the left. Won't let you lower the flaps unless you're going slow enough. Pretty neat feature on a trainer. One thing that DCS does better is that when you look around the back of the cockpit there, it kind of leans you around rather than just looking straight at the seat rest. You get a slightly better view if you go in the forward viewing position there. Keep our eye on the airspeed. Get the gear down. And get the flaps fully down. That's the runway. GPS is showing all the airspace there. I'm pretty sure you didn't get that in the 2020 version. That's kind of handy. A little bit high. Easing off the throttle. Put it back on, don't want to stall. You don't get too much warning of a stall in this plane from when I've tried it. Just want to be a bit careful. It's a bit above the glide slope. There we go. Fun little jet trainer. Nice way to get the hang of jets before you move on to maybe some of the airliners or some of the business jets. And a great looking plane. A rich man's toy. Next up, we've got the AeroElvira Optica. What a cool looking plane. You got a kind of a ducted fan there. And inside though, it's a lot less high tech than it looks. So again, you've got GPS navigation, you've got some basic radio navigation. That's about it. What you have got though is a cockpit with a fantastic view all around and a fairly powerful engine. A short takeoff capability. And look at that, see right behind. Now this is a plane that's largely used for like scientific observations, that sort of thing, and the inspections. An oldish plane. A very cool plane. But you can go nice and slow in it. And with that big old bubble cockpit, it's great for sightseeing. And I would fully recommend it for that. I mentioned that I'm flying everywhere from, or most of these planes from London City Airport. I was hoping to do Maysfield in Chicago, but it's a little bit flooded. I'm not sure if that's an issue with my machine or what. But a lot of water on the runway itself, so London City's kind of the next best thing. Plus, you know, it's where I'm from. You got up to, what, 50 degrees of flaps there? So that helps you get nice and slow. Love sight of the runway behind us, so that probably means we can turn in. Nice and low. Don't need to be afraid of tipping the wings. Get the flaps all the way out. Cut the throttle. And just bring it in. Nice, it's a very nice plane. Good one to learn in, really. If you're new to flying, new to flight simming, you could do a lot worse than this plane. And as I said, great, brilliant plane for sightseeing. Very forgiving plane. There we go, the AeroElvira Optica. What a cool plane. Next up, something altogether less high-tech looking. The AT802 air tractor. It's not the best looking plane in the world, is it? I don't know, maybe it has its own appeal. Inside, kind of surprisingly modern. You got this whole GPS situation going on. Got some digital engine controls. The flaps are kind of on a continuous setting, so you have to like keep flapping. You've also got these spraying things, so this plane was kind of introduced for the career mode. Means that you can be a crop spraying pilot. And then of course you can progress onto the F-18 and fight aliens. Parking brake off. So the engine here, you've got your prop pitch and for some reason mixture. Can't really imagine going very high in this. A buzzy old engine. The airfield I've chosen to fly from here, kind of an old haunt of mine, Kenley Aerodrome, formerly RAF Kenley. And when I was in Air Cadets I used to fly gliders out of there. I thought it'd be nice, a slightly more rural setting, a bit incongruous flying this out of London City, I think. So you'd go over, fly low over one of these fields and drop some lovely, lovely DDT. Get the flaps down. Bring it around and we'll land this plane. So when I was flying gliders from here, we always used to land alongside the runway. Use the grass strip rather than the actual tarmac. I'm not sure why. Anyway, if I miss the tarmac, that's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. Try not to crash into the windsock. There we go. That's not too bad. So, Kenley Aerodrome, home of 615 Volunteer Gliding Squadron. Air Cadets in London still fly out of there, which is really cool. And for today it's home to a visiting crop sprayer. Next up, we've got something a little bit larger. The A310, the Airbus A310. It's slightly older of the Airbuses. The older modern airliners we've got. So inside we've got a not entirely modern cockpit. Sort of semi-analog engine gauges there. Plenty of steam dials augmenting the digital displays. So I guess this is like 90s tech. It doesn't let you take off with the parking brake. And I wanted a slightly bigger runway, so we're flying out of Heathrow. Quite a slow acceleration. And we'll just let it pop itself off the ground. Gear up. Flaps up. You'd never really want to do this. I'm flying a left-hand pattern from the right-hand runway. In this instance though, it kind of helps to keep everything tight, keep the airfield in sight, so that's what I'm doing. There's no other traffic though, so we can get away with it. There you go. And that'll get you kicked off of VATSIM. So unlike the A320 jets, this is not fly-by-wire or anything. It's a little bit more basic. But it's nice, it's a nice plane. Let's get full auto brakes on. Runway's out behind us. Let's put down some flaps. Put down some gear. Tricky thing here is staying in the turn. It always kind of wants to roll you out. It looks like I'm going to come onto the left-hand runway here. A little more flaps, a little less throttle, more flaps still, not fully sure what that warning was about, can't be that important. Throttled all the way back.
Too low gear. Too low gear.
Oh.
Too low gear. 400.
Yeah, I thought I'd already put the gear down.
300. Sink rate 100. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
Tiny bit short there. Tiny bit short. What do you reckon? ATPL soon? Probably not. So there you go, the A310. First of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different Airbuses that we're going to be looking at. So it's the A320neo, obviously a mainstay of European aviation. Let's give it a go. Disengage the parking brake. Full throttle. And we're up. Gear up. Flaps up. So this plane's a bit more digital than the A310 version that we've got. I think that comes with being the Neo variant. All of your screens and displays. Haven't really got any steam gauges. It's a shame, I like a good steam gauge. Probably a bit higher than I want to be.
$2,500.
Sink rate.
Put the flaps down a bit. Gear down. Let's bring it round. It's all fly-by-wire, so pretty much you just point the plane where you want it to go. Side stick control. It's cool. It's good. It's nice.
1,000.
Sink rate. Full up. Full up.
400.
Full up.
300. 200.
That is not a stabilised approach.
100.
Sink rate.
50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10. Retard. 5. Retard. Retard.
we got it down in one piece. Now both this and the next plane, when I was practicing these, did have a tendency to want to basically just yeet themselves off to the left. So I'm surprised and glad that that worked, but it did, so we're good. Next up, we've got the A321LR. So this is the long-range narrow body for when you want to squeeze far too many passengers into a plane that's really too small for a transatlantic flight. And it wants to yeet itself off the side of the runway. Let's see if we can get it back on the runway and try again. Those auto tiller settings seem to be really important. And if you don't get them right, your plane will yeet itself off to the left. I had a lot of trouble with this earlier. Honestly, I thought this plane was broken. There we go. Gear up. Flaps up. So, like the NEO, it's got fully digital cockpit. It's really very similar to Fly. But from what I understand, this is the long range version, so you can probably get to America in this, like New York. I wouldn't say it's the most comfortable way to fly. Keep an eye out for the overspeed, for the throttle. Again, you've got all your digital fly-by-wire controls, digital cockpit. Airport off to the left, doing that same circuit across the opposite runway. It's a bit easier like that. All of these Airbuses are made by, was it Ini Builds? Who did the version 2 Airbus A320 for the previous version, Microsoft Flight Simulator. So they are good quality products. You just got to watch that whole tiller thing. Hey look, that cloud looks like a chess piece. Bring the flaps down, got the gear down, auto brake high, really selecting a bank angle here.
2,500.
And why the throttle just put itself into toga there. Absolutely do not want that. We're going to come in on the left-hand runway. Flaps all the way down. Got auto brakes set. I have this really bad habit when I'm landing of coming in at an angle like this and it's kind of easing onto the runway heading visually.
1,000.
Pretty sure you're not supposed to do it like that. I don't know, it just seems
Super.
easier.
Pull up.
Sync. Gotta watch that throttle. Takes a while to spool up.
400.
Like that.
300.
Pretty much on the glide slope.
200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard 10. Retard. Retard. Retard.
And throttle seems to have a little bit of a mind of its own. I did have the throttle fully back, and it was calling me names just then. Oh, there we go. A320. Like that, the window blinds being in various positions there, was kind of cool. Okay, next Airbus is the A330. This is a very cute livery. Love that. Brussels Air. I don't know, are they all polka dot like that? I'd love to fly them. That's cool. I'm pretty sure this is meant to be a longer range plane, the A330. It's certainly a larger plane. Inside, cockpit, instrumentation, everything very similar to the A320 and A321. But it's bigger. It's a lot bigger. This is a wide body. It's often used for transatlantic. And manual toga. Yeah, this is a more comfortable way to get across the Atlantic. Really get that realistic kind of rattle on the ground in this sim. I like that. You can actually feel when you've touched down. Gear up and flaps up. Manual thrust. You just got to be careful not to drop the thrust off too quickly when you're flying these. Just easing it back. Otherwise your airspeed could drop off a cliff. And then it beeps at you. I don't want to be beeped at. That's Heathrow. Let's get the nose down. Don't really need to be climbing anymore. The roll rate is really as slow as it should be. Careful not to overspeed. There we go, it's nice, it's a nice plane to fly. Wish I could remember how to disable the auto throttle. Let's put the auto brakes on. Be coming back round in a minute, landing this thing. If I was doing this in real life, my carbon footprint would be horrible. London stretching out ahead of us. The path of the Thames, to me, is like the most recognisable river. Maybe it's because of EastEnders. Throttling back, get a bit of flaps out. Two notches should do us. Let's turn. I want to overbank. Shallow descent, that's good. Another notch of flaps out. The airport's on a 2.8 line there, so... Let's wait till it's on the 2.7 and then we'll turn in a bit more. Bit more flaps. And a bit more, but I'll leave it there because I don't want to overspeed. Oh. I've actually overshot the runway. That's fine, we can compensate.
2,500.
Did we drop the gear yet? No. We might want to consider that. That should help us slow down a bit more as well for those flaps. Putting a bit of a slip on it to try and bleed off some airspeed.
1,000.
Pull up.
Ooh.
Pull up. Pull up.
500.
Pull up.
400. 300.
Pull up.
200.
Not the best landing.
100.
It's not been any landing yet. Oh, we're floating right over the runway.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Hey, Michael O'Leary, can I have a job? And that's the A330. I quite like that. And I love the paint job. Oh, whoops, my taxiing leaves something to be desired in third person there. Next up, another A330 variant, but it's a good one. Will you look at this beast of a plane with a dolphin face? Because it's the Beluga XL, the A330 variant that Airbus use when they need to carry bits of other A330s and whatever other planes they're carrying around the place. The giant oversized fuselage. Internally it looks quite a lot like any other A330. Parking brake off and let's go. Slightly choppy performance there. Don't know if that's really surprising on such a big aircraft. Sure, the engines are noisier as well. There we go, there's Heathrow out to the left yet again. Let's stay on this heading for a bit. If I pay attention to the plane rather than mucking around with the thrust visor, I wouldn't overspeed it. Bringing the thrust right back, we're going to turn onto the runway. Getting the flaps down, get the gears down. Try and stop that climb. There's the runway.
Hold up. Hold up.
Whoa, that's Plane isn't playing around.
400. 300. 200.
Pull up.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
There we go, planted it on the ground. Well, that's kind of tricky, but I guess it's not to be surprised with such a big plane. Tricky steering it as well. And there we go. The A330 Beluga XL. What a plane. That's fun. That's a lot of fun.
656 ready for departing straight out at runway 27 right.
Our final Airbus is not an airliner. It's a military transport, the A400. It's kind of equivalent to the Hercules, I guess.
GotSpaceGame 656.
Internally, what have we got? We got this HUD. Does it have the same kind of tiller setup? No, not really. Auto tiller disconnect, yeah. It has a lot of automation in it, which I do not entirely understand. Okay, parking brake off. Plane is kind of tricky to fly. Let's see if it's any easier with the flight director turned off. And let's turn off the auto throttle as well. We're doing this entirely manually. Turning left, go to a 90-degree heading. Point the nose down. Okay. I'll slow us up a bit. Get ready to engage a bit more flaps. I'm going to beam the threshold, so we'll just let it go on a little bit longer. Landing gear are down, we didn't put them up, it's fine. Interesting landing gear arrangement you see in this. You've got 6 wheels at the back there. It really does feel like it when you're on the ground, actually. Bit more flaps. Try not to stall. I don't think, but I am trying to come in and land. You got that HUD up there, you can fold it away if you want.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
Please stop bleeping, it's very distracting.
Don't sink.
So yeah, this is a challenging plane to fly, not least because it's constantly trying to distract you.
300,
Too low, flaps.
200,
Too low, flaps.
100,
Too low, flaps.
50, 40,
Too low, flaps.
30, 20, 10.
There we go. That's difficult. That is not an easy plane to fly. But we make it work. A400, last of the Airbuses. And really, if you want a challenge, then it's definitely the Airbus for you. We've got something a lot simpler, a lot more basic, a lot more natural as a plane. This is the Pitts Special S1, the Aviat Pitts Special S1. That's why it's still under the A category. You've had all of the Airbuses together in a row. You're going to have exactly the same when we get onto the Boeings. But for now, we got the Pitts. There's a lot of power in this engine. You've got to be careful throttling up. And there we go. Lovely impressionist sky there over London. We're back in London City Airport. Now we're done with all the Airbuses. And this plane is really all about one thing and one thing only. And that thing is aerobatics. So, I mean, you gotta love it, haven't you? You've gotta love it. And such a cute little biplane. I think I had my flashlight on there for some reason. That wasn't intentional. So yeah, the Pitts Special. I mean, what's not to love, really? You got just a couple of instruments: fuel gauge, engine gauge, altimeter, airspeed. I won't try and auto throttle you when you're trying to land. It just flies. Bring ourselves across onto the runway. Tiny bit high. There we go. 2 red, 2 white. 3 red, 4 red. Okay. Let's try and hold the altitude for a second. That should do. Lovely. And bleed off some speed. 'Cause I don't really want to do that. Really likes to stay airborne, this plane. But we get it down eventually. So that's the Pitts Special S1. Let's have a look at the S2 now. See how different it is. You'd be surprised.
Tower, GotSpaceGame 656.
So the Pitts Special S2 has got a couple of things that the S1 hasn't got. Firstly, you've got this beautiful red and white livery. It's really the classic. The S2 also has a 3-blade prop. And you notice that the way the wings attach, you've got these kind of thinner struts there, so that's a bit easier. You get a bit slightly better visibility. And a much better cockpit layout. You've got all of the instruments here, the primary displays right in the top of your field of view. A lot easier to keep an eye on your airspeed. You got a proper mixture control there as well. And just make sure that's rich. Make sure it's set for takeoff. Don't know where my view control's going there. Very squirrely. It's a bit of a longer takeoff run. Has trouble getting up to speed. Oh, did you see that? That airplane was like all tail. Okay, and we're up. So it's a bit of a trickier takeoff run. The plane doesn't really want to just pop into the air like the S1 does. It just seems to take a long time to accelerate. Don't know why that is. But once you're up, it's the same great Pitts Special. Do your aerobatics. Not gonna lie, I did think that was gonna go south for a second just then. The Thames barrier stops London from flooding. Great bit of engineering that. Basically whenever the tide rises, it closes up, stops the water coming in. So yeah, tail draggers like this, they're always trickier for takeoffs and landings. You can't seem to just plonk them on the ground like you can with a tricycle. Let's see if we can get the landing any better with this one. Bringing the throttle down already. Keeping an eye out for the runway. There it is. Bringing the throttle back. Bringing it right back. And try a shallow approach just to get rid of a lot of that airspeed. We've got a nose high attitude here. Okay, it wants to stall. Whoa.